Good morning. Howdy. If you'd like to stand, we'll sing our call to worship. Okay. Let me see.
Yes, this is
1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health.
Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health.
My lasting, my lasting, my lasting health.
My lasting, my lasting, my lasting health.
Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends.
Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends.
Beautiful, my beautiful, my beautiful friends.
My beautiful, my beautiful, my beautiful friends.
Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life.
Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life.
My fabulous, my fabulous, my fabulous life.
My fabulous, my fabulous, my fabulous life.
Thank you for my wealth, Spirit. Thank you for my wealth.
Thank you for my wealth, Spirit. Thank you for my wealth.
My bountiful, my bountiful, my bountiful wealth.
My bountiful, my bountiful, my bountiful wealth.
Thank you for this peace, Spirit. Thank you for this peace.
Thank you for this peace, Spirit. Thank you for this peace.
Our present, our present, our present peace.
Our present, our present, our
I'm
present
gonna add a verse.
peace.
Thank you for my dog, Spirit. Thank you for my dogs.
Thank you for my dog, Spirit. Thank you for my dog.
My goofy, my friendly dogs.
My goofy, my friendly dogs.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day.
This healing, this healing, this healing
Last time.
day. This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Good morning, Unity, and welcome, Unity friends. Yeah, my name is Libby Robold, and with my husband, Michael, we will be the worship assistants this morning. And we're so delighted to do that with our friend Blake Ringsmuth. Great. So anyway, we'd also like to welcome everyone who might be watching the service from YouTube. So welcome, everybody. Let's have a great morning. And now I'm going to turn this over to my husband, Michael, to share some very meaningful announcements.
I'll do my best. Well, the Women's Resource Center, we still have a few gifts on the tree. That support from all of you is what makes this community so wonderful to live in. And the Women's Resource Center appreciates all that we do, all that everyone does. And you still have 2 weeks to purchase and return the gifts. They're due here by December 7th, and then they need to be over at the Women's Resource by the 8th. So thank you again for all you're doing. There is a Unity of TC Christmas party scheduled on December 18th. It's at 5 o'clock, a simple meal of soups, breads, and desserts, and a white elephant gift exchange. So if you're interested in attending, there is a sign-up sheet in the hallway. Please feel free to put your name on, and we hope to see you there. Speaking of holiday events, our friend Ann Walker put together a list of local holiday events taking place in the next month. The information sheet is on the table in the hallway, so please pick one up as you go by. Kathy Sinclair and Raleigh Newman are actually performing in some of these events, and I think they're both here today, so if you have an interest and questions, see them. The football fundraiser, of course, this is the third year. It's been successful. Right now, we're at 43% of filling the chart. So if you haven't made, it's a gift donation is what it is. You don't have to care about the football game. I don't even think Blake's interested, but.
Yeah. So why is Ohio State on top?
Apparently, the coach at Ohio State has yet to beat Michigan.
Oh, no, he beat us, but not in the last 4 years.
Okay, 4 years. And I think they were rated, Ohio State rated number 2 when Michigan beat them last year. So what's the difference between 1 and 2, really? Anyway, the game itself is going to be shown here on the game day, which is next Saturday. Game starts at noon, and there's a potluck during halftime. If this is of interest, please sign up. There's a sheet for anyone who is interested in attending. Brooke?
I just want to say it is really, really fun. If you haven't done it, you should do it because it's just a great time to get together. We're cheering, we're eating, we're just having a great time right here in the sanctuary. I really encourage everybody to participate. Yeah.
Yes. So again, the tickets for each square, $35, and if you want to contribute $100, you get 3 squares, and it's just a drawing random, and we'll know on game day what those squares actually refer to in terms of the score and how winners are determined. But the church will get 80% of whatever comes in. And then there will be 4 different quarter scores that will relate to those 4 squares on the chart. So you could be a winner of 1 or as many as 4, although I doubt that that's going to happen. Ann did win 2 last year. If you are, if you're interested in the T-shirt, we still have them, and they're $30. So if you want to purchase one, they'll be ready following the November 30th service. So that's, again, next weekend. Please remember to bring in your donations for a local food pantry next week. And as many of us know, there are those in the community who are not only suffering from food issues, but also a number are homeless. So again, we have to look at how our situation is, and when we have enough, it's certainly easier to give. And everyone who is, involved in all of these organizations that are in need at this time of the year, it's just a wonderful thing that we can participate. That brings us to the board minute, and Meg, I think that's you. No, it's not you? Okay.
All right, so I was just going to talk about going off from what Michael was talking about, the football fundraiser, as well as the World Series fundraiser that he so kindly orchestrated, and a big thank you to Michael for that. The money that is brought in from those fundraisers, we haven't really decided on what to do with that yet. So a couple ideas that we have going around on the board that we need to get an idea for. One idea that was given to us was to put lighting for the words that are in the hallway. When you go out of these doors from the sanctuary, there's some wording up in the hallway that needs some illumination. And so that was one of the ideas that was brought to us. It has our vision, mission, and values, so someone thought it was a good idea to put some lighting on that. Another idea that was given to us was to seal the driveway. The driveway does need some work, but that might be something that needs a little bit more money to go to it for that. So I'm not sure if that's what we're going to do, but that's an idea. And also new front doors. So if you have ideas for something other than that, or if you think one of these ideas is something that you think should go for that, let us know what your thoughts are, because we do need to come up with an idea for what to do with the fundraising money. That's what I have.
Nominating committee.
Nominating committee. Yes, so it's time of the year that our annual meeting is coming up, and I am going to be going off the board of trustees. And is it you that might also be going off the board as well? She's teetering. She might run again. So there is actually also, besides my going off, there's an open spot and potentially another spot. So are you interested in joining the Board of Trustees? It's a great group of people. It's very interesting to kind of see kind of the backside of how the church is run. And really, it's fun, and it's a way to kind of give back and to, I don't know, I don't know how else to word it, but if you have gifts that you want to bring to Unity of Traverse City, please get in touch with one of the board members here. I think, Sharon, are you still on the nominating committee? So Sharon Chappell is one of the nominating committee members. Get in touch with one of us if you are interested, and we'll point you in the right direction for getting nominated for the board.
Okay, so if you remember a few months ago, we announced that we had a new rack card, a welcoming rack card that told all about our services and our mission, vision, all that kind of stuff. Now we have another new card. This is called our event card, and this talks all about our facilities. It talks about our amphitheater, our labyrinth, and so if anybody wants to rent our building or our grounds, please share this card with them. It gives them all the information that they need. And so this is out by the front door, so pick one up, and even if you just want to keep it for yourself, it's out there now. This is new last week, so we just wanted you guys to know that it's there.
Is it going to go up on the website?
Website master?
I believe most of this information is on here, but I will update what we have on the website to match it more distinctly.
Okay, one more. Did you have one more? So the other thing that my other part is, we also announced a while back, I don't know if any of you remember, but every quarter we give a tithe to a local charity. And so we want to get your input into what charities to give to. And so is Bob here? Bob is looking for, we drew up a form, and it listed the charities that we normally give to now, and also left some blanks for you guys to write in charities that you might want to suggest that we give to. So hopefully Bob will have that ready after the service, and it'll be on the back table, and pick that up and either vote for the charity that's already listed or write in a charity that you want. But we want your input on where we tithe our Unity generosity checks to, okay?
And last but not least, we're thinking about 2026 and marketing and getting the word out about who we are, why we exist, and why other people would want to join us. So to begin that process, we're going to ask for your feedback. On the back of the bulletin, there's a question, and I will read it. We want you to reflect back to when you first discovered Unity and attended service for a first time. What attracted you to Unity, and what motivated you to return? So if you would share your thoughts in regards to that on this piece of paper, then give this piece of paper to either myself, Bob, any of the board members. We'd like to use this input as we begin to think about our messaging for next year. Thank you.
And let's affirm together our Unity affirmation. I would like to read it to you first so you can take those words in, and then we'll recite them together. I have more than enough, and I am grateful. Together, I have more than enough, and I am grateful.
For the love which from our birth over and
like to invite you to join me as we take on a morning prayer. Invite you to close your eyes and just feel the beauty of this morning, the joy of being with like-minded folks, and to share this beautiful morning amongst friends and like minds. I follow the path of peace, that my heart may be open, and may I give thanks for all the good, the promise, and the hope that is available to me. And may I appreciate the wonders of sky and earth, and may I be grateful for the loving kindness in my world, and for the assistance of love and family and friends. And may I be filled with compassion and be a person wealthy in spirit. May I see all my energies to develop myself, expanding my own heart out to others with patience and love, and awakening myself with others as we raise our consciousness each and every day. And so it is this morning. Amen. And may we let that prayer take us to a quieter space now so we can travel into a place of meditation. And so I invite you, if you have any items in your hands, maybe remove them, let your feet feel grounded to the earth, and come home to the breath. Jesus said, "Be still and know." I enter the sacred space of a quiet moment. Just listen. And coming home to my innate goodness, the shining light of the Christ consciousness within soothes my spirit. And I am invited to remember that I have the power to create my good, to change that which obstructs my view or that which keeps me from moving forward. Might I be awed by the possibilities before me. My body displays my self-respect, my loving kindness. And when I think of my personal physical health, there again, I am invited to remember, in many ways, I am what I eat and how I structure my life. My essence of energy displays my voice and my actions. And in this expression of my life, this human experience, I'm invited to remember that I too am what I think and what I believe, and what I orchestrate with intention. Oh, thank you, Spirit God, for reminding me that I can manifest new ways and clear mental debris on my path. With the power of manifestation, I can co-create with Spirit. For just a moment in time, may I now just reflect in the quiet. Is there something that I need to clear and release this morning? Something small, something hovering over me, something that creates worry or angst. Because the moment I let go, the healing comes, the new direction is received. So take a moment now in the silence and ask within, what do I need to clear or release?
I've got a roof over my head. I've got a warm place to sleep. Some nights I lie awake counting gifts instead of counting sheep. I've got a heart that can hold love. I've got a mind that can think. There may be times when I lose the light and let my spirit sink, but I can't stay depressed when I remember how I'm blessed. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. In a city of strangers, I've got a family of friends. No matter what rocks and brambles fill the way, I know that they will stay until the end. I feel a hand holding my hand. It's not a hand you can see, but on the way to the promised land, this hand will shepherd me through delight and despair, holding tight and always there. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. It's not that I don't want a lot, or hope for more, or dream more, but giving things for what I've got makes me so much happier than keeping score. In a world that can bring pain, I will still take each chance, for I believe that whatever rocks or rain, our feet can learn to dance. Whatever stone life may sling, we can hold or we can sing. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful.
Our guest speaker today is Blake Ringsmuth, a civil rights attorney based in northern Michigan, in case you don't know Blake or know about his doings around this area. For more than 2 decades, Blake has represented those without a voice, including whistleblowers, victims of harassment, and members of the LGBTQ community, often taking on powerful institutions in the process. He's the prior chair of our local Human Rights Commission, a published author, and has spoken nationally on issues of civil rights and justice. Blake has been a part of the Unity movement here with us for over 25 years, serving in many capacities. He studied with spiritual teacher Gary Zukav and brings a thoughtful, deeply grounded perspective to the intersection of justice and spiritual practice, for which he largely credits his wife Yvette. She instilled that in him. But we are honored as a community and a church family to have Blake be with us. And please join me in welcoming our friend, Blake Ringsmuth.
There we go. Can you hear me? All right. Well, let me just say, that was quite a meditation, and it really dovetails in exactly what I wanted to talk about. It's almost as if you knew. And Ken, wow. Reminds me of the male incarnate of Kelly Curtis, that voice, who some of you may remember, belting it out from their heart. Wow. That too. Socrates said, a life unexamined is not worth living. And so with your permission today, and with your open hearts, I hope, we can take a look at something I think is extremely important, but not talked about. So, with that in mind, I've been lucky enough to speak here from time to time, and usually it's when I raise my hand, because something's placed upon my heart, something that keeps calling to me, even though I may not want it to call to me. And it's some work to stand up here. I don't know how many of you folks have had the honor of standing here, but you're an impressive group. And I certainly don't want to disappoint. I want to talk about the word insidious for a second. It's one of those $20 words. And what it means, which you may very well know, is a creeping, subtle danger. So let's bear that in mind. And let's just take another deep breath. And let's call to mind Libby's fantastic meditation. I invite you to breathe deeply and open your hearts as we explore maybe some hard truths within all of us. And the entryway to that exploration is, if I'm not mistaken, the third unity principle, which is the law of mind action. I think there's a nice slide up here. And essentially, as Libby reminded us, thoughts are a creative force. What we hold in mind produces after its kind, according to Charles Fillmore. So often we can be literally mindless. We can go unconscious, and our mind, the tool that it is, takes over from our soul and our conscious intentions, what we strive for. And sometimes that's not pretty. Charles told us, the thoughts of the mind are the seeds of all that appears in your life and affairs. Unity believes that our thoughts are a creative force. And we exercise that by affirmations. We exercise that by prayer. We create self-fulfilling prophecies. We have the choice at any moment, as my wife likes to say. Wait for it. Sometimes getting up here and writing this labor of love seems unpleasant, seems challenging, maybe even anxiety-provoking. But she reminds me that I get to do this. I don't have to do this. I get to do this. You all have that choice, whatever it is. Speaking of Thanksgiving, you get to go share it with family. Maybe even family that you don't always agree with. Maybe you get an opportunity to forge love, create forgiveness, and space. So one idea is to ask yourself, what do you hold in your mind? And can you check in regularly to make sure it's something that you want to manifest in your life? But there is another concept that I want to share. I believe it's universally held that human behavior and thoughts come from two sources: love or fear. You can strip away the nuances and the anger and the whatnot, but it all comes down to love or fear. And that's a complicated notion, because what might outwardly be a loving act might actually be from fear. Some of us are recovering from a different spiritual life, a different religious practice, where fear was the motivation, where we went to church, or we prayed, or we did things out of fear, or we didn't do things out of fear, because we were told we would go to hell, literally. Okay? So now, if we take these two concepts, the law of mind action, that what we hold in our mind manifests for our lives, with the idea that every thought and every act comes from love or fear, we have created a powerful dynamic that's potential is only unlocked by you. It can be like peanut butter and jelly, or it can be like ammonia and bleach. I don't know if you knew this or not, but ammonia and bleach, you never want to mix them. That's actually what I believe is mustard gas, which was, got another story for another day maybe. So let's just think about that for a second. If you are holding negative thoughts, fear, isn't that what manifests in your life? But more to the point of our individual responsibility, isn't that what we are manifesting for others around us? And is that what we want? Or do we want the alternative? Do we want to manifest love? Do we want to hold the thoughts of love and prosperity and abundance and acceptance and radiate that like the spiritual antennas that we all are? I think so. I think that's why we are all here. We're here today, and we're here in our practices, and we're here in our volunteerism and our support for others. And this brings me to what I wanted to talk about specifically today. How many of you know the story of the Trojan horse? All right, well, humor me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Trojan horse. So, Back in the day, the Greeks and the folks from Troy were not getting along. There was a battle, and the Greeks wanted to capture the city of Troy. So what did they do? They built a big horse, and they parked it outside the gates of the city. And the folks inside the walls of Troy thought, it's a peace offering, it's a gift. So they opened the gates, and they wheeled the horse in. And to their surprise, what was actually in that horse were some Greek soldiers, and you probably know the rest of the story. It didn't end so well for the folks at Troy. So what would you say that Trojan horse is today? Well, we live in extraordinary times, times that are much different than most of us in this room lived in when we were young. At any given moment, most of us carry in our pockets a small, glowing, rectangular device. Now, you probably don't have one of these, but it's a cell phone, or it's an iPad, or it's a computer. Now, this could be a tool, and we probably use it as a tool, right? Full disclosure, I looked up the story of the Trojan horse, so I got it right, and I used this. And some other tidbits that are interspersed through here. But like our brains, this is a tool that, if left unchecked, becomes insidious. It is the Trojan horse. And I'm not talking about the fact that this device alienates us from each other, literally, by staring at it when there are human beings sitting next to us, or you see children at social events looking at their phones instead of socializing. That's not what I'm talking about, but that is a problem. So I'll give you a hint. If it bleeds, it leads. Have you ever heard that? Some of you have, some of you haven't. So we can thank Randolph Hearst for that, who was a titan of the newspaper industry. Maybe this is starting to sound familiar. Do our news sources share with us human accomplishments, breakthroughs in love and compassion? Or, if it bleeds, does it lead? Well, I think we all know the answer to that question. With a single swipe of a phone, with a single click of our iPads, we can see the horrors of the world's events instantaneously. And it does it by design. The algorithms in this, the intentions of our news media, are to keep you focused on what they have to sell. There's a phrase called clickbait. Okay? This is not coincidence. And this tracts the law of mind action. So when you're on your phone, or I'm on my phone, and you click, what's going on in the Middle East between the Israelis and the Hamas? The kidnappings, the bombings, the murders. Your phone will give you more of that. It's the law of mind action. Are you brokenhearted about those atrocities? Coming right up. Deportation of immigrants? Here you go. And somehow we keep swiping and clicking. Now, it's okay to be informed. An informed electorate is the foundation of democracy. But that's not what I'm talking about. We keep swiping and clicking because that is human nature. That is our state of being, and that's natural because we're worried about threats to us. Our brain is wired in a reptilian fashion to protect ourselves from threats. And so we're on high alert for threats. Is it all of these things are threats. Are they real to us? Some of them not. But we are being played. We are being played. They know that humans are naturally drawn to the traumatic events of the day. We know this. I don't have to tell you that. When you're traveling up I or down I-75 and traffic comes to a stop because there's a crash on the other side of the freeway, that's because we're drawn to those things. Maybe it's not something we're proud of, but it is human nature. Is it surprising that they try and sell us insurance rates with a scantily clad human being as the face? We're drawn to those things. So, does anyone here know someone that cannot be torn away from bad news? That spends an inordinate amount of time on Facebook, or their phones, reading news about the horrors of the day, about what a particular administration is doing to what we think is sacred and the foundations of democracy? Do you know anybody like that? Oh, you do? Well, maybe you should tell them to watch this talk. When we do that, are we living or acting or behaving from love or from fear? Anybody? Oh, okay, fear. And what, by definition, would we manifest in our lives if that is the truth? And query, is that what we want to manifest in our lives? There is a word for this in the psychological community, and maybe you've heard it. It's called doom scrolling. Have you heard of doom scrolling? Yeah. So doom scrolling is not being able to say, yeah, I understand there's stuff going on at the Supreme Court, and I know kind of a little bit about what it is. It's about being drawn in. And I am particularly worried about this community, our community, because knowing you, we are compassionate human beings. Our hearts bleed, and they take advantage of that. We care deeply. We have heard from this very platform many talks about some of the tragedies in this world. I am not trying to downplay or undermine those. What I am talking about is a healthy relationship to what is going on in this world. Not hand-wringing. There is a place for supporting each other in sorrow. I have had to learn that. But being paralyzed by fear, paralyzed by hopelessness that these repetitive stories keep telling us, and thinking the sky is falling manifests that the sky is falling. Your sky is falling if you choose to hold that in mind. And it's not healthy. The Harvard Medical School published a study that shows doom scrolling, becoming wrapped up in repetitive, horrible news, increases anxiety, and if you had anxiety beforehand, it's far worse. It increases depression, sleeplessness, high blood pressure. Okay. So you want to manifest that in your life? I trust not. So, doom scrolling and the law of mind action. If I had a slide up there, oh, let's go to the doom scrolling slide. Oh, it's up there. Well done. Worry. I mean, that's a fairly good depiction of a doom scrolling state. It's not good. It's not good for us individually, physically. It's not good for our world, and it is certainly not what we want to manifest. Why is this being fed to us? Have you heard of George Orwell? Okay, well, he's an author, and he's written some prescient books. I don't know, things that you never thought might actually happen in our world are seemingly coming true. And he said, they fear love because it creates a world they cannot control. Let me say that again. I want you to take that in. They fear love because it creates a world they cannot control. And that makes sense, for if we are told and fed what to fear and act from that, love has no chance. We obey. If you love someone that's not acceptable, you're going to hell. If you don't support the right candidate, you're going to hell. Does that promote the free expression of our individual Christ presence? It does not. I submit to you. So the question I have for you, are we going to stand for this? Hell no. So, I want to be clear. It's not wrong to care about the world. Hardly. We care deeply about the world. Sadness and anger are natural and can motivate us. Unity is not about pretending everything is fine. Compassion is holy. Justice matters. Awareness matters. It's the balance that we're after. To be informed but not inflamed. To witness pain with compassion but not absorb it. To stay awake but not afraid. We do a a check-in before the service team does. We have a word that's placed upon our hearts, and they're beautiful words. Mine today was good trouble. Have you heard that phrase, good trouble? Look it up. But doom scrolling, well, wait. Got to get Myrtle in here. Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founder along with Charles, reminded us that our work is not to deny the appearances, but to see through them. To behold the divine patterns of wholeness beneath every outcome circumstance. To believe and live knowing that all is in divine order. That's where the rubber meets the road. How do we hear and see the events of this world and believe that all is in divine order? Even when we can't see it at the moment. I believe a historical timeline is the appropriate perspective. We pray, we affirm. Does it happen immediately? It does not. Doom scrolling tricks us into believing that anxiety is the same thing as awareness. We think if I stay informed, I'm being responsible. But often, we're not taking inspired action. We're just marinating in helplessness. And we're wringing our hands. And then we share that. How many of you are on Facebook? Okay. You ever come in contact with messages that make you feel bad? Make you angry? really motivate you? You all probably are aware of my political ideology, but it doesn't matter. I will tell you, I used to love Rachel Maddow. I used to love MSNBC, CNN, whatever that one is. That's the liberal wing. When I'm honest with myself, those messages make me feel bad. Am I coming from love or fear when I hear the president being mocked or the cruelty and the hand-wringing about it? I feel bad. That is fear. That is not what I want to manifest. No, thank you. And that's all over Facebook. It's all over the internet. And we're exposed to it all the time. And I'm telling you, you don't have to absorb it. Put it away. Fear not. I did not come with just gloom and doom. You have the power to change it. Hopelessness never changed anything. They fear love because it creates a world they cannot control. Do you want to be controlled? Love does not cower or demonize those different than you for an advantage politically or economically or even for a moment of comedy at the expense of someone else. We are not beholden to the hopelessness they want to feed us. We need not marinate in helplessness. Your greatest power is to be the change you want to see in this world. You do not have to fly to Israel and lay your body down to create peace. That is not an option for most of us. You do not have to write a check for $1 million to an organization. It's not that hard. That's the truth. It is not that hard. And you being here now is one step. You holding this consciousness now is one step. You acting in service is one step. You buying a gift for a family in need is one step. Words matter, right? I challenge you just right now to maybe briefly recall words that have harmed you in the past. Did they come from a loved one, like a parent, a lover? Okay, now put that aside, because I know that it's happened. Bob's story spoke to me about what his father told him when he asked if he was going to have any more kids. You remember that, Bob? Could you ever forget that, Bob? Well, I can't forget it either. But we can be the change we want to see because we can do loving things. And on the time horizon, it does make a difference. It may not make a difference tomorrow, but it makes a difference in our lives. What loving things have you been told in your life that you can remember right now? They're there. Where's Carol? Carol told me a loving thing once. She probably doesn't even remember it, but to this day, I remember it. She told me when this church was going through a crisis that she felt safe when I was present. When I was in the 9th grade, my citizenship teacher told me, after having a mock trial in his classroom to understand the justice system, that I was better than a lot of the lawyers he'd actually seen in court. And that I should be a lawyer. He may rue that, but that made a difference And there's a story I heard, there's a story I heard when I was away on the Unity Board retreat years ago. There was a little girl who went to a small school, and she came from a very poor family. And it was obvious that she was not loved by her family. She was mistreated. She came dirty to school. She wasn't fed. Family had a lot of kids. And one day they had a hearing test. And that teacher, the test was a whisper into the ear of each child to see if they could hear and say what the teacher told them. And this teacher whispered into that little girl's ear, "I wish you were my little girl." And that little girl absorbed that message, and it never left her, and she became a Unity minister. And that one act of kindness has influenced hundreds, thousands, me, maybe you. My 9th grade teacher's statement has influenced me, and for right or wrong, I've done the work. So do not lose heart. Do not ever underestimate how you can impact a person and what that will do in the world. Do not sell yourself short. You are a child of God, sent here to express the divine presence within you individually, and that looks different for every person. Put away the Facebook pages that don't serve you. Get off the news. There are places you can go. Stay informed. Don't be absorbed. Don't be taken over, and don't be overwhelmed, for they win. I have 2 sites for you that probably some of you know. There's the Good News Network. The Good News Network. It's a daily email filled with good news, slightly light, but that's okay. There's another one. It's called Fix the News. Fix the News. That I highly recommend. It is annotated with good news from around the world about eradicating disease, about crime being reduced, contrary to what we're hearing, about people coming together to tackle climate change, clearing rivers in the Amazon of plastics. It's there. You won't read it in the New York Times or Fox News, but it's there. And it's filled with love and hope. And it's what they don't want you to have. So, there are groups in town that you can join. Indivisible. Great group. You worried about ICE? They teach you how to be an observer, to make a difference. So the question is, what reality do you choose to shape? Are you willing to be the gatekeeper of your consciousness, even though it takes being present all the time? To forgive yourself when you find yourself wallowing in that, and let it go. You decide what enters the holy temple of your mind and the manifestation it creates. You decide what enters the holy temple of your mind, what manifests through this law of mind action. Let us be deliberate gardeners of our thought. Let us plant peace, tend joy, and watch the garden of our collective lives bloom in love and hope and rising above. and let it start now. Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, Blake, I don't know where that 9th grade teacher is, but I'm sure they're thinking, boy, was I right. Thank you so much. Well, I'm sure that each one of us feels wonderful about what's coming next week, our Thanksgiving, our celebration with friends, families, or maybe it's just alone. But it's that opportunity to really see and feel the thankfulness that we all have for what we have. What we have, and especially in some cases, what we don't have. So, it is that time to share with our fellow congregants the support of this facility. So, whether you're reaching into your pocket or purse for some change or cash, or perhaps writing a check, or using a credit card, or if I knew how to use this, I could probably make a donation right now. So as you hold in your hands and your thoughts what you're willing and able to give today, let's affirm the prosperity blessing which appears on the screen. Together, I have more than enough, and I am grateful.
Well, I'm grateful for the love that you rained down on me. Yes, I'm grateful for the love. For the love. Well, I'm grateful for the love that you rained down on me. Yes, I'm grateful for the love.
That was quite a talk, Blake. I'm still out of it. I'm so thankful to you for talking about something that needs to be talked about more often. What a blessing. And what a wonderful service. And I'd like to invite you now to come, and we love to join together in our circle of unity. Hold hands if you like. So as we come together in this circle, I would like to mention a couple things that we're very grateful here today. I'd like to acknowledge our kitchen team and all the committees and other volunteers and program planners, the prayer chaplains. We always have one up here in the front of the service room and out in the hall. So we are so grateful for you this day. And a reminder too that there are the sign-up sheets for many interesting things in the hallway, as you've heard, and please join us for fellowship at the other end, and maybe play around with that fundraiser. And in the meanwhile, it's time to take our closing prayer. And as we do that, when we join together in a circle, we like to bring to mind and heart the names of people that we love, adore, people that we know of, that need love, support, guidance, healing, understanding, compassion, whatever it might be. And to whisper their name into the circle, all the names, and know that we can bless them with our heart and our mind. We can manifest a higher level of consciousness on their behalf. So let's do that now, and then we will follow that with our prayer of protection. In the quiet, please mention someone that you need to acknowledge. And whether you have mentioned their name in your heart or have spoken it in a whisper, we know that that energy is awakening a higher level of consciousness within ourselves and other beings. And when we raise the consciousness of our own selves, we raise the consciousness of many beings, whether we know it or not. And may we say together our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.